whatchamawhat's it, so that, yeah, she said, but she made an account in my name. My name. And she typed that she listened to me when she called. No, she really didn't. It's obvious that the things that I explained to her went in one ear and out the other. Then she says I'm chastising her for her brain injuries. Well, first of all, I can't remember every single detail of every single person's life who claimed that they were going to help me and then talked about them. Well, you're dealing with one Sean who's trying to get help. I'm dealing with hundreds of Michelles. Hundreds of them. She typed at me that she didn't do the things that everybody else did. No, she did exactly what those other people did. What did Caitlin Tatum do? Pretended she was my friend. Didn't do any friend things. Just procrastinated for months on end, years on end. Ignore me for literally years on end. How about Danny Francis? See, that's the thing, is that I need help exposing the fact that I went for help, nobody cared. I was abused for trying to go for help. Michelle Stuart typed that she helped all she can. No, she hasn't. She made 3 videos where she spoke up. She said that she watched some of my videos while she's working. You know what? You didn't watch any of the shit that I sent you. Not a goddamn thing. It tells me when you've fucking seen it. If it's a white circle with a darker check mark in it, they haven't seen it yet. It hasn't even been delivered to them. If it's a gray check mark, it means it was delivered. Sorry, blue check mark. Which means whether or not they see it is up to them. Whether or not they look is up to them. Michelle sent me a friend request. All the way in January or February of last year. And how long did it take her to do something? And then when she wanted to do something, why don't we, I don't know, proper time manage? How about you understand how other people's choices, the exact choices that you have made, have resulted in me being victimized repeatedly? My predators pretend that I rip people off for thousands of dollars with GoFundMes because other people make GoFundMes in my name instead of helping me make a GoFundMe. Starting a new one so that I can start all over again sending you crap you're not even going to watch. And now there's no way to even see if you've watched it. I just have to believe you. You tell me you called the ACLU. Where is your proof? Don't do anything without me or on my behalf. With the fucking victim. You are doing exactly what everybody else did. Going out of your way to intentionally ignore the things that I'm saying. You're ignoring all of my disabilities, and then you want to type at me, oh, you're chastising me for my brain injuries. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm chastising you for hypocrisy. I'm chastising you for making false statements. I'm chastising you for not being a friend. A friend would listen and help. How their friend needed. I need help turning in my predators. Nobody else had time. They didn't have time. Well, they sure as shit had time to get a hold of me. Sure as shit had time to argue with me for an hour. When you say the same thing 5 times in a row in a conversation, I can understand that that's a brain injury issue. But the cops and courts aren't going to understand that. They're not even going to try unless you make that statement loud and clear. Natalie Bollinger accused me of making dozens of profiles to harass her. Sorry, that wasn't Natalie. That wasn't Natalie. I had one email address when Natalie was fucking killed. I did not have the ability to record anything on YouTube. At all. The help that I needed before Natalie died, some people sort of helped. I got a YouTube up and going, didn't I? That was well after Natalie was killed. People wanting to pretend because I'm speaking up about what's going on Facebook that it means I'm stalking someone. No, the fuck it doesn't. But you're not looking at any of the evidence. Why would I send you evidence to a fake profile that is just going to be used to victimize me? When you tell me that if I message you that you'll call me, just message you ahead of time and you'll call me. And if you can't call me, you'll at least let me know. And then for 2 weeks, you literally ignore every fucking message while I'm being abused and my shit's getting taken away and I am fucking freezing in this goddamn thing. And I have to worry that as long as it takes you to even make a fucking phone call to me, over a year. Sorry, almost a year for you to actually call. Do you stop to consider my injuries? Any of them? Do you stop to consider how many times I've been beaten? In the head. Because nobody fucking cared. Because people wanted to do what you're doing. Do things without proof. That's hearsay. It's hearsay. If I go to the courts alone and I say, Michelle Stuart called the ACLU, they're going to want fucking proof. A lot of people claimed that they made calls for me. Brandon Ratner claimed that. No fucking proof. Can't even remember what officer he supposedly fucking talked to. None of these people None of them who claimed that they called the police or tried to get something done, not a single one of them has a goddamn shred of fucking proof that they made any goddamn effort. I'm supposed to just fucking believe them. There's a legal route to do it. When you say you want to call your friend, well, fine, record it. I don't understand why you can't look at the evidence and just make the call to them with me. I don't understand how that's a fucking rocket science. I spoke up about the things you did and the things that you claimed that you would do. You not following through is not my fault. It's not something that I should be victimized or chastised over. When you type at me that you're not doing those things that other people are doing, you're doing exactly what those other people are doing. That's the problem with you wanting to make suggestions over and over and over again on repeat instead of hearing what I'm telling you. These are important details that you would know if you took the time to listen instead of making suggestions and being busy telling me stuff that I already know. I already know you don't have a very lengthy amount of time, which is why I'm hoping that when you call, you'll listen instead of in 5 minutes of trying to understand. You've already got all of the fucking answers and you're throwing them at me. No, they're not answers. If you would look at the evidence, you'd understand that. But you didn't. I'm mad at you because you didn't take the time to understand and you did things that are harmful. Things that have repeatedly been used to harm me. You are committing acts that people have repeatedly used to harm me. Do you have any idea how many people have harmed me over fake accounts I never made? How much that has been used to harm me in court because I'm not allowed to speak because of the mentally ill tag. I'm not allowed to speak. I'm not allowed to show evidence. Together, not for me, not telling me to do it. There's a timeline here. There's a series of events that happened in a particular order. Nobody cared about that. They just cared about, well, typing pretty shit at me or helping me in the way that they want to help, not caring about the repercussions for me. When all those people wanted to buy me a bus ticket to get me out of Colorado, I didn't need them to buy a bus ticket for that fucking day. I needed to get my flip phone so I could show the fucking evidence. I've been treated like I am guilty without ever being allowed a goddamn day in court. And I gotta depend on web wingnuts, alcoholics, meth addicts. This is who I have to go to for help. If you're gonna say, I'm sorry, Sean, I've been through it myself, then speak up on my channel. That's the problem. Nobody's sharing the information and nobody's working the fuck together. None of my friends work together. None of them. My predators never stopped. When the fuck are you going to do something? I am glad that you spoke up on your YouTube channel, Michelle Stuart. That's a good start. It doesn't make up for ignoring me for 3 weeks or the repercussions for me of it. When I asked you to go away, I meant go away. I didn't mean pretend all of a sudden that you're actually going to try helping me. What I meant is go away, because I'm going to show that I went to you for help. Either way. I'm going to show that I tried to get help, and I had help like people like you. I tried posting up that first conversation with you, 3 hours. And you know, while I'm trying to post that up, it's fucking over 3 hours. It won't download. But I get to sit there and I get to listen to it while I'm trying to figure out how the fuck to cut the goddamn thing in half so I can post it in 2 parts. This isn't a hatred of Michelle Stuart thing. This is a, hey, you know what? There is actual help and there's things that don't help. This is why you need to listen. When you want to make a half-hour fucking segment of entirely just making the same suggestion over and over again, how about you offer to call them with me? And how about you take the time when you're calling to actually listen? Instead of using it to be repeat. I have to hold everything up in typing. I can't type it. You will, first of all, get aggravated with me every time you take something wrong in texting. Second of all, I don't know how to take what you're typing in texting, because most of you type horribly. Your understanding of the English language is complete shit. Bad grammar I can handle. Horrible sentence structure, not so much. When playing video games, one of the things I always liked about having the ability to talk to the other players in video games is sometimes I get to talk to British people. It's a lot easier to understand. American English is a bunch of inferences and assumptions. People will literally reinterpret everything that you said into something entirely different in this country. And then it's your fault that they reinterpreted it. Kind of like when Jesus says that all these people will die, and then all these people want to use it as an excuse to kill people. Jesus didn't make the excuse to kill people. Meanwhile, I wouldn't have to speak up on Facebook or on YouTube if I had an actual friend who actually cared. Instead of 400 people to tell me that they're fucking sorry. Fuck you. Fuck you. Did people just say, oh, I'm sorry, George Floyd, and leave it at that? How about with Demetrius Shankling? How about Zayd Atkinson or Sammy Leon Lawrence IV? You know, Sammy Leon Lawrence IV didn't want to understand my disabilities either, but he expected me to understand his. Just like all these people who can't remember something I said 30 seconds ago. And there's only one of me that they're dealing with. And they all expect me to remember every single detail of their lives. Well, they can't remember shit about me. when they call up to help, instead of actually listening, they waste time that is obviously in short supply by telling me that they're short on time. I know. And every time you do that, you are antagonizing the situation and making the communication issues worse. Then I have to talk 400 miles a minute to try to get everything in. When you call, I don't know how much time you have to call. But when you spend a half an hour explaining to me that you don't have much time, you just wasted a half an hour of listening time. The whole time you're typing at me, I have severe anxiety. It's not effective communication. So you guys go out of your way not to effectively communicate. Intentionally not effectively communicate. Now with Michelle, she's one of those people that didn't have any business on my friends list. She wasn't doing anything to help. Then she claimed that she would. Then she doesn't look at any of the things that I sent her, but she wants me to send her more. Why am I going to invest my time into going through all of that again with another new person who's not going to help turn it in? Someone who's not going to call and listen to understand. At least she started to understand our roadblocks. They're not just hers. All these people want to give me all their excuses why they couldn't tell the truth, why they couldn't come forward. Well, guess what? I can get new court dates based on the evidence with you people, but you have to fucking speak up with me. You actually have to make that effort. When you say you'll look at the evidence, you need to actually look at it. Or the whole time I'm still trying to send you stuff, I'm like, fuck, she's not looking at it. Why am I wasting my fucking time? You don't look at any of the evidence that I sent you. You just want to kind of browse through the videos when you're bored. See, that's the thing, Michelle Stuart. Help like yours is exactly what I need to expose. Is exactly what I need to show. Those GoFundMes that I'm treated like I'm some sort of a fucking thief who stole thousands of dollars from people. Fake profiles created by other people. And those other people don't fess up to the fact that they made those profiles. They don't speak up about it. They don't tell the public. They don't go to any of these groups that are slandering my name, resulting in all this abuse, and tell the truth to them. And the most important part, not calling to turn it in. If you have limited time, that I can understand. But if you have limited time, then let's make the best use of that time. Get familiar with the situation. Get familiar with me. A lot of people, their idea of helping me was to tell me about all of their personal problems. And then they didn't want all their personal business to be out there. Well, you know what? I'm fine with all of my personal business being out there. I don't hide shit. You want to judge me for things that I had to do because the law was not observed, because no friends or family gave a shit? Yeah, you can go back through on my Facebook and you can point out a bunch of people who pretended to give a shit. Where's their fucking follow through? Without you going in with me, or at least making the calls with me, nothing happens. You calling your buddy and asking him for help? No, that's not help. It could have been help. You said that you left a message and hopefully they'll call you back. No, they don't call you back. It'd be nice if they do. The fact that you were able to get a number is absolutely splendid. They made me have to try to type it in 2,500 characters or less. That's about 300 to 400 words total. If that. Can't find my damn lighter. There it is. And there's these people who think that a temporary band-aid is going to fix it, and they're going to throw it in my face later. They sent me a sandwich. I understand that $50 ain't much to come by. How many hours of labor did it take you to come up with that $50? I see that as time of your life. But what about all of the time where I'm waiting on you to keep your word, to at least message me and tell me you're busy? Maybe reschedule. I'm not a bad person because you have 2 jobs and a fucking kid. You're the one that reached out to me, and you had them jobs and a kid when you reached out to me. Lots of people wanted to tell me, I tell them, hey, you know what? People are going to fucking threaten your kids and they're going to threaten your family. Oh, Sean, I'll be fine. We're tough. We can handle it. A week later, Sean, they're threatening to kill my kids. I fucking know. Help me turn it in. I fucking told you. You don't stop to look at all of the resources that have been taken from me. Resources that you have. I got plenty of time, but time that does me no good without the fucking resources. I could build something for myself, but not without a place to do it. I could sit down and make these fucking phone calls and record them if I had a place with some peace and fucking quiet to do it. I don't have that. If I make the time because you say, hey, I'll call at this time on this day, and I make sure that I expend what little fucking resources that I have into going to a place where I can sit down and make that call and actually fucking record it, and then you're a no-call, no-show, that makes things worse. When it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you want to repeat the crisis sliding thing over and over and over again, you know what? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We can't call any of the places that are actually useful at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. But we can do at 3 o'clock in the morning is get familiar with the situation. Now, if we spend 3 hours on the phone and nothing that I said was actually heard, yeah, I'm overwhelmed. If I'm sending evidence and none of it's actually seen, yes, I'm overwhelmed. It's not a hatred of you, it's the fact that you're not stopping to realize the repercussions for me. You're not considering my injuries or my disabilities. Now, posting it up on YouTube and on Facebook. The reason for that is so that it is posted what the intent and purpose is. And then it's time to follow through. But how can I believe that you're going to follow through with anything while out of the thousands of crimes committed against me, you haven't helped me to turn in a single one? When I say make calls with me, if you make calls with me, then I can record and save the evidence. When you say that you record it and you save it, well, prove it. Prove it. Do not ask me to just believe you. Either you send me proof that I can go to the police with, or you bring your fucking testimony to the police with me. Whether that be in person or on the phone, it needs to be with me, not on my behalf. What that does is it makes my word versus yours. And I will always lose because of the mentally ill tag. So you get to prey on the very same thing as my predators. And I have to be afraid that you will do so. I get that you're angry. I'm fucking angry too. You knew that saying that you would do something and then ignoring me makes me feel hopeless and makes me want to kill myself. And then you did it for 2 weeks after promising me you wouldn't. Michelle Stuart, you're doing exactly what these other people did. Between your words and your money, I need your words. I need your testimony. I need you to not blow smoke up my ass. The biggest problem with you web sleuths, none of you look at the evidence and share it. Doesn't matter how much evidence I send you. You're just gonna, I'm sorry that happened to you, me to death. Or you're gonna tell me you're too busy now that you already stuck your nose in it. I'm supposed to go to my friends and family for help. Instead, I get treated like shit for going to my friends and family for help. I get fucking ripped off. I need to turn that shit in. Meanwhile, you can't even take the time, even when you call, to listen to what I have to say or what I'm going through. You want me to start over again, ground zero, sending you a bunch of stuff to a fake Sean account. And based on how much you've looked at from what I've sent you, how am I going to believe that you're going to look at any of it or help to turn it in? You're just going to do what everybody else did. You're going to say, oh, I made this call and I made that call without you, and you just have to believe me, Sean. Well, you know what? That fucks the victim every fucking time. Your name. That all in one place thing. That'd be fucking great. It takes time to do that. I have email accounts. Don't do things in my name. Sarah Bacon, between coming forward and treating me like shit, she wasn't going to help me. She pretended that she was going to, and that is the problem. All these people pretending that they're going to. Wasting my time, trying to push me to commit fucking suicide like Caitlin Tatum has last 6 goddamn years. If you're gonna be a friend, be a friend. If you're gonna tell your friend who's being abused over and over again that you don't have time, you're making the time to say that you don't have time. What do you mean you don't have time? When you care, you make time. So don't tell me that you care when you're not making time to do anything to stop it. I don't need a fucking shoulder to cry on. I need help stopping long-term financial, physical, and sexual abuse over fucking slander. There's plenty of evidence that it's fucking slander. I can get a new court date in all of my fucking court dates. All of them. Because the officers and the Bollingers committed repeated felonies. So they could fucking railroad me. And they got away with it because of help like you, Michelle Stuart. You get a free pass, though. I don't know you in person. You sent me a friend request over a year ago, and then you ignore every goddamn thing between then and now, and then you want me to send it all to you! I've already posted it for over a fucking year! By the time you sent me a fucking friend request, I'd been posting it up for 6 years. Sorry, 5 years. You were on my friends list. You had access to that. But no, you want it specifically, specially sent to you. You want me to spend hundreds and hundreds of fucking hours when you're not willing to spend an hour a fucking week. Even when you say you're going to. When you're going to do things for me with zero evidence that you did those things, I just have to take your fucking word for it. I'm called mentally ill, remember? Everything that comes out of my mouth must be a lie. I must have made it up, must have hallucinated it. Michelle Stuart must be a fake account that I made up. You have to come forward. You have to do it. My predators have preyed on exactly the stupid shit you're doing. You're doing things hurtful because you're not listening. You're not listening to how those things are used to harm me. You're not looking at the evidence of it. You're expecting me to just believe you. I'm not asking you to just believe me. I have the evidence. I need you to fucking listen. Show me that I'm not wasting my fucking time and resources, because mine are far less than yours, obviously. You're able to work. You have family. You're not stuck in your fucking car wishing someone would actually give a fuck. Wishing that people would stop doing things that are used to harm me and calling them fucking help and pretending I'm unfucking grateful. You're not doing those things. No, you are doing those things. You absolutely are. I get that you don't have time. You tell me you don't have time, but you had time to reach out to me, didn't you? So in that 2-week period where I was sending you stuff, you weren't looking at it. Have you bothered to look at it yet? Probably not. Probably haven't had time. But even if you did look at it, I mean, I got no proof of it. And there's all these folks who wanted to make fake accounts and fucking offer to help. And I needed someone to actually help me to turn in the abuse that I was going through. Not a bunch of people to fucking gaslight me and harass me with more fucking fake accounts. I made 2 YouTube accounts before Natalie was killed. One of them to beg for help, calling off the fucking dogs, calling off the fucking abuse, calling off the threats and the fucking harassment. But none of you fucking cared. The news media and these fucking troll groups, they pretend that the people who fucking raped Natalie Bollinger are her fucking friends. These are the people who are looking out for her. Really? You're gonna fucking victimize me over her fucking predators? She did the same goddamn thing. I needed help stopping abuse before Natalie died. Nobody fucking cared. I got jack shit. My $840 a month, which I don't even get paid all of it, is not enough to live on, especially fucking homeless. You tell me to save up my money. How? Running around to all these free services? They're not free. It costs you time and money to go to those places. And when you have to go alone, when they want to separate you from any witnesses, that shows that they're going to do something illegal. I don't need access to your email. Even if you did make it in my name. I need you to fucking help turn it in. Not make me start over again. I tried explaining to you the evidence that Miss Gatas had. I need that. I need your testimony. I need you to actually look at evidence. When you say you're going to. When you say that instead of trying to push me to commit suicide, you'll actually message me and then you ignore me for 2 weeks. You literally went out of your way to try to push me to commit suicide. That is exactly what you did. Just like Caitlin Tatum. Just like Danny Francis. I asked you to leave because you're not my friends. You showed you're not my friends. And then when I asked you to go away, then you want to pretend like you... Well, obviously you don't give a shit. Obviously it's just pretending. There's a lady out there where I was going to fly a sign and she's holding a domestic violence sign. No, I'm not going to bug her and tell her to move. Never mind the domestic violence that I've gone through, but that doesn't matter to any of you. You've got your own problems. You've got your own problems. Well, where were your problems when you reached out? When you wanted to send me a friend request and say that you wanted to be a friend. No, you don't want to be a friend. You don't care who fucking hurts me. You're just going to tell me you're fucking sorry, you're fucking sorry, you're fucking sorry. You stop to consider how hurtful it is? Do you stop? When I explain to you how hurtful these things are, and then you do exactly the same thing, how am I supposed to believe anything other than you're trying to push me to commit suicide? Listen to the victim. Don't pound your suggestions at them over and over and over again like a piece of shit. Try to fucking understand. That takes listening. Not telling somebody to do something over and over and over again. Instead of bossing me around, find out what's going on and help. Instead of telling me about yourself, find out about me. That first conversation we had, there's a reason I tried to post that up immediately. Because she did all of the things that people do to men. That's right, you'll tell us you're sorry. You'll give us your condolences. That don't do shit for me. That doesn't stop the fucking abuse. You say there's nothing you can do. There is absolutely something you can do. And you should have done those things instead of wasting my time or not contacted me to begin with. If you're not going to look at evidence and help turn it in, and by the way, pretending that you called up an officer who you didn't call and sent him evidence that you obviously don't have, why don't you try telling the truth? Aaron Cockerham could have done that. Carl Rogers could have done that. That's the thing, is that I'm having to deal with people like you because I don't have any friends or family. And people like you are only going to do what you want. Your idea. Your idea will fix this. We'll ignore Sean's idea and we'll put a token effort forward so we can say that we did something. Did you help me to turn any of these crimes into the cops? If I send you that stuff, are you really going to watch it? Or is it going to sit there for 2 weeks? When it sat there for 2 weeks, and I'm angry that it sat there for 2 weeks when you said that you would fucking look at it, and then you want to set up another way for it to fucking get really confusing, and also make it so that I won't be able to tell if you've read it or not. That's the thing about a conversation. If you're on the phone with me, and I'm speaking, I'm hoping that you're hearing me. Hoping. Now, if I send you a nice, neat little letter, and you read the very top line, and that's all that you read, well, that's not my fault. When you say that you read it, and you didn't, that's not my fault. When I say I need actual help and not pretty words, I'm sorry use pretty words, and they're hurtful. I'm sorry doesn't fix shit. I'm sorry doesn't stop the victimization. It doesn't stop the predators. It doesn't get this shit into court. You guys offer to help, and then no matter what, you're not going to help how I need. Now, I've been explaining to you the route to take since before Natalie was fucking killed. Jeff Ritter is one of these services, didn't do their jobs. Not Jeff Ritter or Kara Heller. Why? Because there was no friend or family member. I reached out to friends and family members. Not that my older brother gave a shit. Not that my friends gave a shit. When you're a man, their excuse is, well, you just need to man up. You just need to take it. Men are expected to take abuse. Now, here with me being severely physically and sexually assaulted at the same time by the guards in the prison, And then I get to see Pamela Anderson, who exposed herself to millions of people, apparently is bitching because Tim Allen exposed himself decades ago. You tell me not to live in the past, but this pretty blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl, you give a shit about her seeing a penis 2 decades ago. Over 2 decades ago. Well, all right then. Don't live in the past, huh? I am still living the fucking consequences, you pieces of shit. I have seen plenty of people's willies. Lots of them. There have been plenty of times where people thought that it was funny to expose themselves in public. Just whip it out. You know what we call those people? Farm boys. Rednecks. A homeless person can't even urinate without being charged as a sex offender, but you can whip out your willy in front of 30 other kids at a party in Chapel, Nebraska. Fucking perversion. Like, of course, how well-grounded and mature do you have to be to give Josh Martindale a blowjob in a house full of people partying? Right on the couch in front of God and everybody. That would be Leslie Snell's sister Lynn who did that. When it comes to incest in rural areas, you have a 70% increase in incest in rural areas over urban areas. When you say a small town sounds like a great place to raise your kids, ew! That's fucking nasty. At least they'll pretend to be nice. That's right. Bless her heart, folks. Play Christians. Pretenders. What these folks don't understand is that the longer they procrastinate, the more my anxiety gets worse. Because you're asking me to believe you when I have no reason to believe you. You're giving me nothing to work with as far as believing you. When you tell me you're going to do something, do it with me. If you're going to tell me you did something for me with no proof, how the fuck does that help? And how are you going to not look at evidence and then ask me to send you more as if I haven't wasted enough time on you already? Just don't fucking scam me. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Not even Michelle Stuart. Even if she did fuck up big. So did Caitlin Tatum. So did Danny Francis. So did a great many other people. You treated me the way that you treat male victims. I either get talked down to or talked over or yelled over or screamed over. I'm not allowed to say nothing though, am I? I'm pretty tired, pretty fucking depressed. There's a lot of people that I went to for help. They didn't care. That's the problem. That's why Natalie Bollinger got blown the fuck away. She got her head blown off because my friends didn't fucking care. For a whole year while I was being fucking threatened, harassed, and fucking abused, and couldn't even go see my friends in Boulder, Colorado. I had to depend on fucking drunks and alcoholics and fucking pill poppers in Chapel, fucking Nebraska. How much fucking help were they? Well, they all tried to hide it after the fact, so none whatsoever. It was always do what you want me to do. What you want me to do. How about we try turning in the fucking crimes? How about that's what we fucking do? The reason for posting it on Facebook and for YouTube is to show our fucking intent. But then there's the fucking follow through. Nobody follows through. Nobody feels like they have to keep their word after making an empty promise to me. They'll just pawn me off on somebody else, or they can't, they don't have time, or they need money, or they need me to fix this, or drive around and do that for them, and then they can help. And then they just don't follow through. All of my disability money and my back payments that should have gone to helping me to get a place where I had my own fucking rights. That's the problem about subservient fucking environments. You have no fucking rights. If the person who promised you, if you spend $1,000 to fucking get there, that they'll help you, decides that they want to do fucking drugs instead, it's their fucking house and they're right. It doesn't matter that they took advantage of you and made empty and false promises of helping you if you went. I had to beg my fucking friends to care. If you have to beg your friends to care, are they your friends? The answer is no. No, the fuck they are not. My floorboards are muddy. Now my keys got fucking mud in them. I don't want to stick that in my goddamn ignition, do I? When she typed that she's not doing the things that those other people are doing. No, she exactly is. Before I can invest time into doing your next project, you didn't follow through on the last one. Why are you going to have me do something that takes more time and more energy when you're not going to help me turn it in? You haven't helped me turn anything else in either. If you're not going to bother to find out what's going on, why am I going to waste my time sending you more things? When you didn't share what I sent you already, and you want me to send you more things, you didn't even look at what I sent you. Danny Francis didn't like that I got on her fucking Facebook public post on her timeline and fucking called her out. Same thing with Caitlin Tatum. I get that they didn't fucking like it. That's not what it fucking should have taken. If they ever gave a fuck about me, they would have fucking helped. I wouldn't have had to fucking call them out. Same thing with Chelsea Aiken. I don't give a fuck who you are. Don't bullshit me. I need you to take a look at the fucking hell that I have been through and how help like yours has made things worse. How having to believe people like you are going to help me when you're not going to make the time and you're not going to fucking help me turn into any of these places that you don't have the time. People claim to have made all sorts of calls for me. All sorts of them, but they never came forward in court. And you know what that results in? Abuse. It results in being abused by the courts. It results in my predators getting away. It results in even less resources. You know, I did have a legal vehicle to work with, but now I don't because people procrastinated. They don't understand. I'm not allowed to do these things for myself. Even when I am capable. And whether or not I'm capable is dependent entirely upon my environment. And my environment right now is based entirely on being victimized into homelessness. My sister didn't care if I fucking froze to death. She just wanted money from meth and meth cans. I mean, Jesus fuck. If she'd used her fucking brain, she could have covered that entire camper with 2 cameras. 2 cameras would have covered literally anything that anybody came anywhere close to that camper to do. But no, my sister has 7 tweaker cams. Tara couldn't help me because somebody was fucking with her too. Except I've got evidence of actual abuse. Tara has evidence that she's fucking twacked out of her goddamn mind. There's nothing on any of her fucking videos. No crimes at all in any of her fucking videos that she recorded on those goddamn tweaker cams. None. She also claims she's getting followed around by black cars with tinted windows. Maybe she is. I end up with a lot of black cars with tinted windows behind me. Same exact make and model as the ones that the police here use. Might be an undercover, many of them are. Now it's Tara letting me know, that's my little sister's name, letting me know that Riley Sr. was making mention of her selling drugs in Sydney. Yeah, that rumor didn't come from me. That rumor came from his drug contacts. Just because you quit drugs doesn't mean that you magically forget every single person that you knew who was into them drugs. Riley Sr. has lived in that town long enough. If people are telling him that my sister is selling fucking meth, chances are she is selling meth. Ed, fuck, I don't believe anything comes out of his mouth. He'll say anything to try to get people to like him. I don't give a fuck about people liking me. Not anymore. What I care about is our rights as human beings. When I'm abused, I gotta run around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to find someone to go in with me so I can turn in the crime. There have been thousands of crimes committed against me. Making a fake account with my name on it has resulted in a lot of harm against me already. People doing shit like that, and then they don't come forward. They hide in the woodwork. They won't speak up. They just hide like rats. And let me be abused over something that they did. Did anyone help me make a GoFundMe? No. Candace made one for me. Carl Rogers made one for me, and both of them destroyed it. Why? Because Candace Bondurant is the worst friend I've ever had. This is the second time that she'd offered to help me, and instead of helping me, she'd lied to me and fucking taken advantage of me and fucked me over. And then her mom wants to be pissed off that I recorded her too. Lori was involved. Of course I fucking recorded her. Meanwhile, with Michelle Stuart doing literally the same thing that everybody else did. You're too busy. You're too busy. You're too busy. You keep letting me know that you're too busy. And then, of course, you don't even contact me back when I message. What the fuck am I supposed to think? 2 goddamn weeks. We have taught women to push men to suicide, to say pretty things but do absolutely nothing useful. When a disabled, homeless male is abused, the point of all of this is to turn in the abuse. The fact that it is long-term and ongoing means that there is no statute of limitations on it. But there is a statute of limitations on getting the fucking evidence, you twit.